Okay, today I want to show you a demo with the new OCI OKE Troubleshooter Skill. So, as you know, Oracle has developed a lot of skills, and one of them is OKE Troubleshooter. A skill is a kind of add-on that can be used, for example, with ChatGPT from Codex, for example. Okay, and so Oracle as github.com Oracle skills, where you have a lot of skill useful, and one of these skills that you can use with Codex can be used with OKE in order to do troubleshooting. So nice. Okay. At start, what is the situation? The situation is, okay, I have a Kubernetes cluster here running. This Kubernetes cluster has two kinds of pools, a managed node pool with two nodes that are not started at start, and a virtual node pool. Okay. The first question to Codex with this skill was, please explain what you can do. Okay, and then okay, Codex explain what this skill can do. Very nice. The second question was, I see that I have several deployments, but no pod started. Okay. At start, I have no pod started because mainly for the deployment, I put the scale to 0. Very simple. So it's a simple situation. Okay. The answer was, okay, I see that you have two worker instance not running for the managed node pool, and I see that you have a lot of deployment with 0 replica. Very nice. First proposition was, do you want that I start a 2 compute instance? And I said, yes, please start the 2 nodes. And believe me, it started the 2 nodes. Okay, but the troubleshooting here was for mainly OKE serverless, so with the virtual node pool. My second question, okay, was about the Kubectl API deployment. I said to Codex, please scale the deployment to 1. Okay, very nice. And it did the job and scaled the deployment to 1. But doing that, Codex found that there is a problem with taint and toleration. Wow, it's incredible. Okay, taint was bad. It means on the virtual node pool, I have a taint and I don't have the toleration for Kubectl API. So after that, I ask the Codex to add the toleration, and the toleration were added successfully. Wow, very nice. Nevertheless, I got an error because before doing the demo, I destroyed the secret, and as the image on OCI registry is private, I got an error with no authorization. Wow. And he found the error. Okay, he said, you have no authorization for this image. I asked it to find and to check the secret, and he found that there is no secret, and that's normal that we have this error with no authorization. So I created the secret. I told it, I created the secret, and then he destroyed the pod and creating the pod again. Okay, then I got this pod, and my last test was more complex. Okay, I call the Q API and I got an error here. Okay, not authorization found, and so on and so on. And I ask the question, okay, I got this error. What can you tell me? Okay, so he run some command, and at the end, he found that in the policy here, before doing the test, I have destroyed this policy that allow my pod with the good service account to use Q, OCI Q, and to find the number of messages that are here and that can be read. Okay? And what was the conclusion of Codex? He said, you have an error, okay? And I see that you, for this service account on your pod, you need to create this policy. Whoa, really nice. So you can see this skill is really, really nice for a developer, or maybe for an error on a production site, okay, in order to find a correlation and to give you a very fast reason for the failure, okay? So it was really a nice test to have this skill. And I think that in the future, we will use a lot of skill like that. Thank you for your attention.